Comixology seems to be, the only digital game in town per se right now. I mean, there's some other small ones like Drive-Through Comics and a couple other things like that, but I find Comixology just to be kind of a disaster for indie creators. I mean, I had books on there, and you might make $5 over the quarter, and it just, unless they do a sale or something, you're not even being seen half the time. And I really like that you guys have a focus just on that, like just the indie crowd,
Thank you.
Yeah, and I think now, is that what the game plan is for the company? Is to just keep it like indie, or is it like, are you guys looking for bigger publishers eventually, or?
I mean, I don't really think about it in those terms, to be quite honest.
Okay, all right.
I think about it as that I would very much like to have all of the world comics in all languages available, so that no matter what you're interested in, no matter what country you're in, what culture, what language you prefer, you have it available to you in a place where you can, read it with high quality and know that the content is what you expect it to be, and that it will always be there for you, right?
Yeah.
And so kind of taking that in mind, we built a platform that is focused on making creators successful. And for us, it's not really a big difference if you're a creator or publisher in terms of what that entails. It's the same thing for both of y'all, right? Like, in that being successful means building an audience, getting readership, having a fan base that are excited about the content that you put out, and that is able to access and read that on a regular basis. And so, as long as we can stay true to that goal, I think anyone can really thrive on Global Comix, as long as they have content that people want to consume.
Yeah, that's great. When you say that you guys help out like the indie creator, like, could you go into that a little more? Like, what do you guys what do you do more for an indie creator versus what Comixology would do for a creator?
Sure. So, I mean, there's a couple of things. Let's start with this concept of monetization.
Okay.
If you look at, the publishing space, the digital publishing space, the online space is split into two kind of factions. There's the traditional format comics, and then there's the webcomic format, which is these days very much, the horizontal scroll or vertical scroll, endless thing. And then when you look at the types of creators there's so many different kinds. Folks that put out 1 page a week, 2 pages a week, some maybe once a day. Some creators like to bundle and maybe like 30 pages a month or 30 pages every 6 months or whatever that might be, right?
Yeah.
And monetization is a hard thing when you're trying to serve so many different kind of models and so many different masters. And so that's why we, with Global Comix, took aim for finding a monetization model that we could start with, which is our page credit system that would allow creators from all of these types of schedules to actually choose whether or not they want to monetize. And the example is this. If the standard model is you buy a chapter and you pay $4.99, $3.99, whatever number that is.
Okay.
And you buy, 28, 32 pages, something like that. If you're publishing 1 page at a time, what do you actually sell, right? And so from a business model perspective, you can't really say, well, I'm going to sell this page for 50 cents, because payment processing transaction fees makes that completely moot, right? Like, you end up with 6 cents on 50 cents or something.
Right, yeah, it doesn't make much sense to do something like that.
And so, with that in mind, that's why we created page credits, which is that readers on Global Comix can purchase a pack of 100 credits. It's $4.99 for these. And they can spend those credits on any comic. Which
Oh,
means
okay.
that if you have a comic out with 32 pages, and maybe you have the first 5 free or something like that as a preview, then you make a sale off of the first or the last 27 pages. And as a reader, you're still left with 73. So it means you can actually start going out and exploring without having to worry about a paywall hurdle or being an upfront cost for something you may not want. And so we're enabling discoverability by bringing down the barriers to entry for readers to go out and explore and find what's on the platform. And we kind of built up around that with extremely deep discoverability filters, probably richer than any other platform out there that I know of right now, in terms of what you can filter by and how you can discover. And it's a mix between social discoverability and kind of the following creators and getting feeds and notifications and this type of thing throughout the browsing marketplace, where you can filter for everything from language to genre to themes to intended age groups or even country of origin of the creator. So and the third kind of component to that is a recommendation engine, which we're, now that the content is really starting to populate in on the platform, the recommendation engine is one of those things that we're going to be tackling in the next half year or so.
Gotcha. So it has sort of like that Netflix thing. The more you browse and the more you try different things, it'll kind of build up its own recommendations for you.
Yeah, it's a part of what you do yourself and a part of what other people do, right? Because when we have a lot of data that gives us understanding of what is a title and what is it about and what is it that people like about it, it makes it easier to make suggestions for things that are similar beyond, well, we're on the same category and it's been read a lot by other people, right? Like, we can be smarter about how we make suggestions to folks.
I'm bored.
Hey, kid!
Yeah?
Are you looking for something exciting to read while you enjoy some sugary cereal?
Yeah!
Then grab a copy of Mighty Mascots from Alterna Comics! Born from the ashes of a disastrous 3D printing accident, 8 living advertisements have banded together to right the wrongs of this world, led by a former child star. These unlikely heroes are freaks to some, but you will know them as the Mighty Mascots. The miniseries is 3 issues, full color, and printed on glorious newsprint. This is the fun superhero series that you didn't know you needed. Created and written by Keith Gleason, featuring artwork by Ian Morianto, and colors by Anton Bondi.
Ahoy, I can't wait for more!
Mighty Mascots is part of your complete breakfast and comic book reading experience. Only from Alterna
Sci-Fi
Comics.
for Me is about to take you on an incredible journey into the realms of science fiction, fantasy, and horror. Interviews with writers, filmmakers, artists, and actors. Conventions and fandom. Previews and reviews of movies and television. Sci-Fi for Me is working to be the most popular science fiction magazine in the solar system. Subscribe now and enter the fantastic world of Sci-Fi for Me, delivering the multiverse since 2009.